Someone asked for it, and so it is here. Necrons versus the Death Guard in this exactly 295 point game of Solo Hammer. So I don't exactly remember who asked for it, but I think it was on stream like 2 weeks ago, but someone wanted this two armies, and it's summer, so I'm really busy with work and other things, so a quick little game to tide us over, I hope. But yeah, 295 points. Let me show you how. First, we have our Necron Lord. He's exactly 100 points. So, there's that. Then the Warriors are about 18 points a pop. There's 10 of them per unit, so that's 180 points. And I gave the Lord a phylactery at 15 points, which just makes it so he doesn't die as easily, while running out to 295. As for the disrespected sons of Mortarion, we have our favorite Chaos Lord Gloth. He's got Terminator armor, lightning claws, and the Mark of Nurgle, because you have to have it if you want to field Plague Marines as troop choice in 3rd edition. He came up to 125 points? No. Yes. The Plague Marines, Chaos Space Marines with the Mark of Nurgle come out to be 14 points a pop, 140 points for the entire unit. And then I needed like 30 more points to add it up, so just a small thing of Nurglings. But yeah, they're equipped with what you see. He has Staff of Light, Gauss Blasters, Lightning Claws, Bolters, and tiny little claws and teeth. But as usual, let's see who goes first. Blacks for Chaos, blues for Necrons. Alright. Chaos goes first. To begin the slugfest, we're just going to move everything up so that we get everything within rapid-fire range, but not enough to actually get into close combat. Because as much as I know people want to see them go into a slugfest, I want to actually enjoy the game. The Nurglings, though, they will be charging up the board, because their goal is the Lord. Because what's funnier than a Lord being attacked by a bunch of, well, screaming green goblins, imps, little evil bastards. And as for Gloth, Gloth does want to get into combat because he only has his lightning claws and no ranged weapons, so he wants to fight something. Alright, so 20 shots from the bolters of these absolute units into the Necron Warriors, hitting on 3s. Not bad. Their bolters are strength 4. The Warriors are toughness 4, so it's going to be force to wound. Nice. Luckily for us, their AP of the bolter is only 5, so they get their 3-up save. And 4 go down. Okay, that was a very poor roll on my part. I apologize. So 4 dudes just, fall. They might get up. You never know. You might not. Now, I was going to have charging in the next bout, but sadly, this is 7 and not 6 inches from possible charge, because you have to be 6 inches to charge in 3rd edition. And that is way not 6 inches, because he's dead now. So, yeah, we're going to move on to Necron's turn 1. Now, at the start of the Necron turn, we get the will be back, or the reanimation rule. And it's a 4-up. They come back to life. Wake me up. Killing only 2 of his warriors, the Lord, not being impressed, decides to tell his men to march forward and start unloading Gauss. Now, typically when you're playing a Necron army, you don't want to actually get into combat as well, because as good as they are in close combat, they really succeed when they're firing their Gauss weapons, which just absolutely unload. And to not get tangled up with the tiny little buggers, the Necron Lord is actually going to move up to there and get a bit of cover. You'll see. Now, the Warriors also have a bliss skill of 4 as they start shooting their Gauss flares into the Plague Marines, so they will be hitting on 3s. Lovely. Now, the Gauss flare is really good, and one of the reasons why I like this idea of an army is because while Necrons are normally good against Space Marines, Plague Marines have a +1 toughness thanks to the Mark of Nurgle, giving them demonic resilience, which means they have not a toughness 4, but a toughness 5, which means these poor bastards have to roll a 5 or higher to actually wound them. But on 6s, it automatically wounds, and they don't get a save from that. So let's see how that rolls out. 5s and 6s. 6s automatically wound. Okay, we got a few of them. So, 4 of them are already dead, so I apologize deeply, but you fine gentlemen right here are just gone. What a shame. But 2 of them do get to have a save, so 3 up. And 1 of them lives, but 1 of them also dies. Alright, and that will be the end of it. He's too far out of range, he can't fire with his Staff of Light, and he has nothing to really worry about. He's got his entire entourage of Necron Warriors covering him. We're going to move on to Death Guard, turn 2. Gloth is not impressed. He starts walking. He just starts walking. And his merry group of lads start following him because they don't like the fact that half of their unit was just destroyed by Necron gas fire. The Nurglings are also going to move up because they want to charge. I think so. The Death Guard are going to start unloading their firepower into the Necron masses, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 4s. That was a terrible bloody roll. The Necron gets a 3-up save. And he's fine. That was a terrible roll. That just slid off my hand. I don't know if I can consider that a roll. No, well, I know for a fact that most of you don't watch all the way this far. You guys usually teeter off around the 2:30 to 3-minute mark. So if you're still here, thank you. Go down below. Say something to me. Like the video. Tell me what you think of the fantasy miniatures I'm currently painting. Alright, we want to get rid of this unit of Necrons because they just wiped. So the Nurglings, the Plague Marines, and Gloth are going to, charge. Gloth will take the first honor of charging in head first into the Necron. Although I think it'd be cool if we can charge through a unit to get to the back line, but that is not possible. And then we're going to have the Nurglings charge this side of the Necron line. Like so. So sadly for the Necrons, they have a very low initiative of 2. Gloth has 5, the Nurglings have 3, and it's time to get dirty. So how many attacks does Gloth have? Well, a Chaos Lord has a base 3 attacks. He gets +1 for the Terminator armor, he gets +1 for the Lightning Claws, and he gets +1 for charging. 6 attacks. It's weapon skill 5 against weapon skill 4, so 3s to hit. Sadly, I didn't level him up and have greater strength, so it's only 4s against 4s, so 4s to wound. 2 wound. The warriors get a 3-up save. 1 falls. I apologize. After falling 1 Necron, the Nurglings are going to attack next, for some reason. The Nurglings only have weapon skill 3 against weapon skill 4. They have 3 attacks each, so it's going to be 9 attacks, hitting on, well, 3s. Or is it 4s? It's 4s. Yes, it's 4s. But sadly for the little imps, the Necrons have a 4-up toughness versus their strength of 3. So, wounding on 5s. Okay. 3-up save. Okay, 1 goes down. Okay, so these 4 are in combat with Gloth, so we're going to do that one first. And these guys are hitting on 4s, wounding on 5s? Yeah. Oh no. Yep, 4s. 4s to hit. 5s to wound. Where are you going? I said 5s to wound. Thank you. That brings up a good point. After rereading this, I think it's just the ranged attack that it does the automatically wounding on 6s. Which kind of sucks, because it would be cool if we could do that during the, assault. Now that I think about it, the automatically wounding on 6 thing would have been really nice to do against Gloth, because he has a 2-up save. Yeah, he's not going down. These 2 warriors are going to still be fighting the Nurglings, though. It's going to be 3s to hit. Lovely. And 3s to wound. Really? And so ends Death Guard turn 2. We move on to turn 3. Well, no, we move on to Necron's turn 2. We have a little movement to be done. So, the first movement we're going to do, we're simply just, actually, the first thing we have to do is, that dude is gone, and that dude is gone, and we got to see if they get back up. 4 up. He's up. He's up. And I get knocked down again. So they basically did nothing that entire turn. Okay, the Lord is going to start moving around his 6 inches up here. Why? Because he's going to charge in the back of Goloth. Like, that's all he can do. 6-inch charge, son of a gun. Now, what would Goloth be fighting into? Would he continue to shred into the masses, or he's going to try to shred into the Lord that just came up behind him? Initiative, kids. It is terrifying. So how initiative works, the higher initiative is, the faster you go in the curse. And sadly, that tan, dirty bastard has an initiative of 5 against the Lord's 4. So he technically gets to go first, which means he could choose who he gets to hit with his claws. Which is going to be our Lord, which hopefully he'll survive. Also, Goloth does have the higher weapon skill, so he will be hitting on 4s. Yep. Did I say 4s? I meant 3s. I can't read. Sadly for Goloth, though, I didn't give him a +1 to strength, so he actually can't hit unless they're on 5s. Son of a bitch. 3 save. And our Lord is fine. Our Lord is going to now hit back with his stuff of light. Hitting on 3s. Because he's weapon skill... No. Wait. Hold on. So he's weapon skill 4. But he's got strength 5. So it's 4s and 3s. So 4s to hit. Alright. And 3s to wound. Okay. Sadly, the dude is literally covered in tank armor, so 2-up save. I thought so. The 5 warriors around Goloth are going to be, you know, attacking him. Hitting on 4s. Okay. And wounding on 5s, because bastard's tough. Oh, well. Once again, 2-up save. Why do I do this? And then these 3 poor robotic bastards into the Nurglings. And 3s to wound. The little buggers get a 5-up save. Okay, it takes 2 wounds. Realized the Nurglings would have gone next, not the Necron warriors. Solo hammer does have its downsides, kids. It's need. God, what the hell does it need? 4s to hit. Alright. And 5s to wound. 1 wound. 3-up save. The Necron warrior falls down his face again, because another one bites the dust. So at the end of Necron's turn 2, nothing died. We're gonna move on to the last part of turn 3 for Death Guard. We're gonna start by actually doing a weird movement. I'm gonna have the Nurglings and Goloth fall back, because I want to shoot them. Yeah, hold on. So first things first, I'm just going to move the Death Guard back just a bit. I'm going to then have, well, they're just going to do their normal movement, just backwards. But these guys are in assault, and they have to move back. Because you can't shoot at something that's in assault, if you know what I mean. And for some reason, their shooting did a lot more than these idiots trying to hit him with a bunch of stuff. So, we're just going to simply take this little mass, I'm just going to back it up a few inches. You stay put. You stay there. Thank you. As for Goloth, I don't think you like the fact that he got hit in the back of the head with a reanimation orb. He's just gonna fall back 6 inches. Right there. There we go. And now, the Chaos Space Marine Plague lads are gonna fire their bolters into the Necrons. Alright, bolters from the boys into the bots. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s. And then the warriors get a 3-up save. Which only 1 fails. Lovely. So 1 more dude just falls on his face. Big disgrace. Kicking your tank. You know, all over the place. Now, I don't want to assault. These 2 can't assault. So that's the end of Plague Marine's turn. 3? Oh, okay. I mean, They could charge the Lord, but he's got the reanimation thingy, so he might come back. Necrons turn 3. Do these two come back on a 4-up? Yes and yes. Oh, dear God. So first things first, the Lord is not having it. He's going to fire his Staff of Light into the Plague Marines. He's got 3 attacks, hitting on... Oh God, his weapon skill... Well, what is his weapon skill, bastard? 4, so 3s to hit. Okay. Staff of Light is Strength 5 against Toughness 5, so it's going to be 4s to wound. Lovely. So, the Staff of Light has an AP of 3. And in 3rd edition, compare the weapon's armor piercing value to the target's save. The AP value is 3. The save is 3. If the AP value is equal to or lower than the save, the target suffers a wound. If the target save is lower, the defending player rolls a d6. So, this might be a misprint, but this tells me that those guys don't take their freaking save. In other words, 2 Death Guard Marines are just deleted off the board, and the Lord commands that the steel rain of Gauss flares fire into the remaining Marines. And they are just seeing green shots fly out, hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, and automatically wounding 6s. No 6s. Only 2 5s. That's disappointing. And 3-up save. He's fine, and he's fine. Damn it. The Lord ain't having it. He's telling his men to charge up, and he'll do it with them too. So he'll charge up like here, that's about 6 inches, and then everybody else will just try to climb in. It ain't pretty, but they're in. Only 5 of them in that unit of like guys can actually fight, but they're in. The Plague Marines and the Lord all have initiative set 4, and they all have weapon skill 4, so they're all going to be hitting on 4s. We heard you like 4, so we got you more 4. So the Plague Marines are going into the Warriors, and the Lord is going to the Plague Marines, all hitting on, once again, 4s. Thank you, come again. The one Plague Marine who has lost this save takes a 3-up save. And he is fine. And the 2 warriors have their 3-up save. One of them falls down. You pesky little bastards. The remaining in-ranged warriors are going to hit the Plague Marines, hitting on 4s and wounding on 5s. And once again, a 3-up save. Called it. So, here's the problem with doing the 3-turn limit on my games. Is that sometimes at turn 3, at the end of everything, it's kind of hard to calculate who won. Sort of. So typically I play games, each warlord is worth 3 points, and everything else will be worth like 2 points or 1 point. The problem is the nerdlings. They're just there. If it was the Death Guard versus the Warriors, it would have been nothing, but these little bastards just ruined everything. But either way, that is a lot of dead Nurgling bearers, and that is a very little amount of actual Necron deaths. So, I'm going to give this victory. Victory goes to the Necrons, because I said so. And because they wouldn't die. They wouldn't die. In any case, as usual, thank you for watching. This far into the video, at least. And I will see you guys whenever I have time in my very busy and chaotic schedule to actually sit down and film one of these. And on that note, bye.